guys. Real quick, this is my last night out of the trip, and I'll try to post this video tomorrow if I have the ability. And right now we're in Washington. Okay, and that's Brent, myself, and Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks, Jonathan. There was a little hubbub that happened at the border crossing for Jonathan, and so what we ended up doing, Brett and I, is we split the trip, made a what do you want to call it? We made an adaptation, or I don't know, because since Jonathan couldn't get here, right, or couldn't get to where we was at in British Columbia, Brent sent him the grid coordinates for here, and I think the first night Jonathan spent out here, he spent it camping in the hotel room. Then he came out here by himself, I believe, one night. And then when we left British Columbia last night, we called him and told him we were on our way. And this is where we're at, and we're getting ready to throw absolutely everything we have at tonight. Trip's been pretty awesome, man. Getting to meet Nikki, getting to meet the Buckwash crew, Jerry, Thomas Steenberg. I didn't meet Leon. I did meet Bill Reed. It has to be a hummingbird. There's this all of a sudden. And getting to meet Mike the Howler and his two daughters, and asked me if I'd go back up there again. 100%. Do I think there's Sasquatch up there? I don't have any reason to believe there's not. Did we encounter anything, find tracks or anything? Not that I know of at this time. I've got a lot of material to go through, videos and thermal footage and the whole 9 yards, and I don't know how long that's going to take me to get through it. Not to mention audio. So this is my last night, and said I'll walk out here and show you a little bit. So I'm waiting for Lizard to come back. Hopefully he didn't get eaten by a bear or something. I thought maybe he got taken by an alligator earlier. But yeah, he's out getting his recorders. Just a view of the area. You can still, I don't know if you can make it out, but there's snow still up on top of the mountains. There's some snow still up there. It's pretty cool. We're down the valley. This where we was at last night when we drove into. Pretty interesting place. And we walked this last night, but Jonathan did go back out, but about midnight I was just done. Let's see. Tuesday night, prepped, got 2 hours of sleep. Flew, did not sleep one bit on the flight. Second flight, some little guy was pushed me in the back of the chair the entire time, which is no big deal, just a little guy. So I didn't sleep there. First night out in the bush. I don't really want to say out in the bush. First night at the campground. Had a hard time falling asleep. Didn't sleep that great. The next night we did go out. We did a couple walks earlier in the day, a couple sightseeing things, and then we went out for that night. And like I said, when I'm wearing the helmet, I can't see what's going on down the road. And a lot of times I don't have the thermal up to my eye. If you've never used a thermal before, it blinds you. So you're walking around in the dark with, one eye that's like being blinded, and the other eye is in pitch blackness. So you got one eye that's fully dilated, and the other eye like trying to be as small as possible, and your brain doesn't like that. So like when we got here last night, I had a headache from just from walking around with thermal and stuff. We got back, we rolled back into camp. I tried to be as quiet as possible. Rather than breaking out the air pump, because we was using my vehicle, I had to deflate my air mattress in the back. And rather than inflating it in the campground at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, I just slept in the passenger seat. And that did not work well at all. I remember opening my eyes, trying to fall asleep, and watching the sun come up. And then we did a road trip with Thomas Steenberg. Showed us a lot of sights, a lot of sighting areas. We went to the Chapman site, which the story I'm not super familiar with. Jacko. Went to the Jacko site. That was mildly terrifying. And Ruby Ridge, we could only access by trail. We couldn't get there by vehicle or anything. You'd have to hike out there. So, but this is my last night. This is the big plan. I haven't broken this thing out yet. It usually gives me nothing but fits anyhow. So I got the Bushnell IR, and I got it all the way down this road, point towards the end. If something comes in here from this direction or crosses this field, it should catch it tonight. We'll go back. Like I said, the plan is to porcupine the vehicles. I had one thermal camera on my tire last night, running all night, and apparently I forgot to hit record, which sucks. But what does porcupining a vehicle involve? Well, that's where you take a vehicle and you put cameras pointing out of it in every direction. So when Jonathan gets back, I'm going to take, where am I at? I'm going to take these clamps right here, and I can mount thermals to it, mount it to the vehicle, firmly on the inside, and we'll go down this back stretch back here where it's pretty dark and creepy, and to be quite honest with you, where we was by the pond back there, yeah, just it was awakening. Couldn't say that though in so many terms, awakening as far as just how thick the cover is, and how very different the foliage is between even here in British Columbia. So I said it was very awakening when we got back there and met up with Jonathan. And let's see what else happened back there. He had some recorders out. Like I said, he's back there right now. He's supposed to be getting recorders. Bring them back so I can start mounting cameras to the vehicle. We'll mount the cameras there. And it's supposed to be going black. I think. Oh, yeah. And he's going to have his audio stuff out. I've got 2 audio bombs here ready to go out. It's not my full audio bomb with the power thing in the back, simply because I couldn't bring it all. But that's made up so that, like I said, it's just H1N. Plastic lace can to protect it from the dew, because it does get a lot of dew here in the morning. And that's going to be my audio bomb. On the Duracells, I've been getting about 8 hours of operation out of them on max recording. What else? I'll have my phone set up in Spectroid mode, and I'll be running the GoPro there in red light mode. I still have my helmet ready. It's operational for the night. So we got red light, we got IR, no sense in even touching it. I don't think the camera would. Let's take a look. Can you see a light? Can you see a light? No, okay. So I got IR on that side, full spectrum camera up here at the ready. It's being charged by an external power system. What else? I have one more Phasm cam. I could put that out separately tonight and run it off a different battery pack. So pretty ready for it, just waiting for dark. Watching the hillside up there. Mrs. T doesn't know that I got her bird watching glasses. Get in trouble. So, sitting out here watching birds. Anyhow, watching that hillside. I've been watching that. Let's see. Tag washcloths. Those have been a godsend this trip. So, I mean, I've been using those every day, and I don't feel nasty at all. I feel good. Dehydrated meals have been good. Anything else? Would I come back here? Absolutely. I would go back to Sasquatch, back up to British Columbia in a heartbeat. I would go visit Jerry in a heartbeat. I'd go visit Mike the Howler in a heartbeat. Thomas Steenberg, you got to go up to the museum. Spend some quality time with him. He'll tell you about all the sightings up in the area and all the things that he's investigated. Nikki's one heck of a cook. She put it together. The list of invitees. I don't know too much about it. I mean, she's putting it out there, trying to get anybody to come. And to be honest with you, we could have really used like a Brian and Chewy and an Alex Petikoff. We could have used a lot more people because it's a lot of ground. That place is freaking huge. This place is freaking huge, and I'm worn out. I'm looking forward. This is only day 3, I think. Feels like day 8, day 9. But I am worn out, and I'm ready to give it all I got one more night. Head for the hotel tomorrow. Hit there right at check-in and take a nice, comfortable. Because I tell you what, cold water sounds good right now. Getting in like a cold bath. Oh, that does sound good. More better than a hot bath. It hasn't been that hot. It hasn't been that hot. It hasn't been that humid. We've had a couple moments here and there and out in the sun, but it hasn't been. Other than that, I mean, we've been hiding in the shade here, and the wind has just been an absolute pleasure. Let's see, things that have happened here so far. I didn't notice anything last night. Last night was the first night where I laid down and I was out. Very first time. Where we was at up in British Columbia. If something wanted to keep tabs on you, it easily could. I did do one of the trails shortly by myself. I kind of wanted to go the whole way in the dark, but that 100-yard trip was, put both directions together, 200 and 250-yard trip. Wasn't very pleasant. You get claustrophobic even in the dark, and because you'll see it in the videos coming. You get a lot of moss and everything growing on the trees, and it just makes everything tight. And you're walking through a very tight darkness. Let's see, anything else of particular interest? The weather has been fantastic. The night sky here has been incredible. It reminds me I need to set up the camera on top of my head so that I can, or this camera, so that I can night record tonight. Time lapse. I started doing it last night, but it was giving off too much light and I had to turn it off. You're all familiar with the bump helmet. Probably the number one acquisition of the trip has been this scarf. Absolutely love this thing now. Camo scarf. You can use it to block the sun. You can use it to keep the mosquitoes off you. And you can, like I was earlier, sitting down in the river, sitting up on the bank by myself. I just took that scarf and put it over top of me and just blended right in with the background. So you can use it for camouflage. Super, super useful. And when I get back, I'll be getting like 2 or 3 more of those things. I highly recommend you get some. Thermocells have been awesome. The boonie cap. Thermals have been necessary, other than the headaches from the eye strain. So hopefully somebody gets back here sometime soon. I'm just watching camp, and I'm ready for the night. So everything I got and more is going to go in tonight. See you down the road.
All right, bro.
Did you find everything?
I couldn't find my recorder. When I got down there was a guy riding a bike just 100 foot in front of where I camped before.
Uh-huh.
Pull outside the road and went into the bushes, like way out of the way. And I think he had a mask on, like for COVID, and a blue bicycle. And he looked up and he kind of smiled and he waved on by. And he pulled that mask down and he waved on by. So I went by near a little blue car with the hood popped. So I parked in that pull-off area, and I was going to walk back there and ask him if he found my radio. Well, I walked back there, there was nobody there. And I started walking up the road where he would have been with his bike. I looked way the hell and gone, and there he goes. Had been an electric bike. When I come back out, I asked him, he was sitting in his car with his bike right there.
Uh-huh.
And he said, no. He said, I drive my bike up and down this road the whole way. And kind of weird. I mean, I don't think like harming weird, but just weird.
Why would you ride an electric bike up and down the road the whole way?
Way in the fuck up in the air. You got nothing, I don't know, maybe you like to ride a bike, yeah.
Anybody else back there?
Nope. Well, when I came out, I was just about to the trail, and for the first time since walking around the woods in here, I found a typical tree break of wood that was semi-live, you know, I mean, probably last fall this probably happened, I'm guessing. So I documented it. And as I was just finishing up there, I heard like a bangity crash, and I look up and I didn't even realize I was so close to the road. I mean, not so close, I mean, from here to the center of that field, 100 yards away, and I saw a blue pickup truck. I almost thought it was you, but I could see him good, and it was a lady in the passenger seat and a guy driving. Looked very much like that same Ford pickup truck that was here the first day I was here. Was parked off the side of the road, pretty much almost where you pull into this place, but up at the top of the hill. That was about it. I didn't have anything on my trail cam. I had 4 pictures and they were all me. The Tascam recorder, when I got to it, I'm gonna put batteries in it now. It was off, but I know, I completely confirmed that it was working as I had it set in place and just pulled down and said, yeah, it's working, and just left it there. So I think it might have ran out of SD, but the solar battery pack was fully charged. Like it never drew no juice from it. So I'll see what's going on with that. The H1 was still on, battery pack was full, but it was all zeros across the top. Again, I confirmed that was on.
Well, you got all zeros across the top. That means you got no recording space left.
Ready? We're ready. You ready, Bill?
Yeah.
Bill's ready. I gotta get this SD card somewhere safer than in there. Oh my gosh. Stick it up here for now.
perfect time to go out.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice and cool.
Yep.
Ready to eat. And get going wherever they want to go.
They're on the move. I was thinking, you know, sometimes.
You all right? You all right?
Yeah, I'm taking some roof shots.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes, you know, in watching different videos and just being in this subject, a lot of times when guys, gals, whoever go out doing a camp out like this, a lot of times nothing happens the first couple of nights. It's not until after, you know, 2-3 days things start to happen. Takes them some time to move in and get comfortable with what's going on right there to move in closer.
I agree with you there.
So, you know, might be a little bit better tonight.
Well, Joan and Nikki all swear, both of those two swear about, you know, once the cameras disappeared, then all the crap started happening. Last year, right?
That's a phenomenon that I would love to understand. Like, do they really
How would they
understand
know?
cameras? Like, to that extent?
How would anything know what a camera is?
Yeah, like, how the hell would that thing know that I have a GoPro on the back of my head, that little square on the back of there is what? I mean,
That doesn't make the least bit of sense.
they sure the hell don't know that it's actually filming them. Like, have they gone and watched TV and seen themselves on TV and said, I don't like that? It just don't make any sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
And I always figured it was like, so when you have IR on and different things illuminate, I always figured that, like, during the daytime, maybe when they see a camera lens, however their eyes are structured, they see a bright dot of some sort, and they're just not comfortable with it.
Like I was telling, is that you I was talking to? You know, we're just out of range of seeing IR.
Yes, you were just telling me that.
Yeah, we can see the irons, but we can't see the area light up. And, you know, to be honest with you, nobody really knows really how other animals or anything sees. We know that deer, we know deer can't see red because they don't have red cones in their eyes. You know, other than doing a biopsy of the eye and studying the eye structure, you know, science says right now blue cones sense blue, yellow cones sense yellow, red senses red, and you need blue and yellow cones in order to perceive green, and red and yellow to perceive orange. But since deer don't have, and I'm always going back to deer because, you know, it's what I studied for years. But because deer don't have red cones, that's why hunter orange doesn't bother them.
Ah, okay. They
Bothers
don't
the
really
crap
see
out
that.
of us because we see it,
Yeah.
but they don't see the color orange. It kind of looks like a brown or whatever.
Now, what about the blue? You know, there's been a lot of talk the last couple of years about how blue is favorable, or because they've snagged up blue marbles, or they seem to show an interest in a blue this or a blue that. And when I was testing out my own outdoor wear in the woods with my UV light, I had searched some other individuals that, you know, go over how to do that. Don't shine it directly at it, shine it across it. And, you know, if you have certain detergents, you know, you can
UV
illuminate.
brighteners.
Yeah, UV brighteners will illuminate you.
Well, that is also big in hunting, because that UV brightener thing was talked about 20 years ago probably.
Okay, so that's not like new news.
No, that's not new news. That's old news. And, you know, when humans have the UV coating in their eyes removed, they can perceive UV, which sucks. You know, if you can see in UV, it would be very cloudy. You would not have this
Right.
sharpness that we have right now.
Yeah.
It would just be, especially during high daylight hours.
Almost like black and white.
No, it'd be like constantly looking at a fog.
Okay.
It would be like every place would look like Los Angeles to you. There's a girl that goes by the handle Physics Girl, and she did a wonderful in-depth on what the UV world looks like and what it would look like to look through UV.
Huh.
And then funky things happen when you start getting into the higher frequencies. So like when you get into IR and IR cameras, right? If you have trail cameras out and you see somebody wearing a black shirt but it's white,
Yep.
that's all physics. That's all photon physics. Because white returns everything and black absorbs everything. What happens is the IR from the trail cam goes out, it hits that black material, and nothing returns to it. So it just, the camera writes a blank spot. Turns it white.
Okay.
And I was reading up on, doing a lot of reading about, people that used to dress in white during the summers down south. And now it's actually cooler to dress in blacks. Because what happens is your body's building heat.
Yep.
That heat hits the white of the material and comes back at you.
Okay.
Whereas if your body's building heat and it hits the black material, the black absorbs it.
Oh, shit.
So they've actually been doing studies on like black and white clothing.
Isn't that something?
Extremely boring, but needs to be done.
Yep.
Video of Joe's sightings for anybody. I've got it with me. I specifically loaded it up so you guys can see it.
Oh, nice.
And at least see the area. You're not going to see Rasta. All the video I have of Rasta doing somersaults and backflips, and he was doing 1.5 gainers and all that shit got stolen in the camcorders.
That happens every time.
Every time.
Can't have nothing.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch YouTube, see who puts up
Right on.
Rasta somersaults. Fucker, whoever stole my shit.
Well, hopefully that guy crashed over a bridge and went into a river somewhere.
The next spot over here to the right.
Pull over there?
Yeah, right up here.
You got it.
You think yours? Oh yeah, I think I've thought about that. What would happen post confirmation? Be it not by me or like that David Attenborough type of footage, where it's like, okay, that's a Bigfoot, no questions asked. Yeah, I wonder about that. I don't know. That's going to be quite the paradigm shift, and I don't know. I don't know. I feel really comfortable to go anywhere in the woods because I don't really feel I'm going to ever run into a Bigfoot, but because I don't know that they exist, and I've never had like any sort of bad experience other than with humans.
Yeah.
That's really kind of deterred me so far. Yeah, I wonder about that. How about you guys? You've had an experience that
I wouldn't go back if Dad didn't go with me.
yeah.
And then, to be quite honest with you, even though I went back and I hunted there for 6 days straight, parked off by myself, I don't think I could have done it if it wasn't for that road trip me and Jim took. I think that really knocked a lot of it down. And even when I was there, it was like, always in my mind. I didn't want to walk over there and stare at the spot. But
You're able to better process, that whole experience.
the big thing about it was the atmosphere. For as crazy as it sounds, and Deb says this as well, is the atmosphere seems to have changed. Oh, I'm gonna grab that audio recorder. It's it had an impressive feel to the place. And they timbered it, or the neighbors timbered down below. And I don't know if it's because the timbering changed it or what. And it's stupid because where the incident happened, there's the road, and I might have been like at the far side of that road. That's all the further I was from the main road going up in there. And it was, and right underneath a freaking cell tower. I mean, so you got lights, you got a generator there. Granted, there's really nothing on the other side. You got a small, I call it a hamlet, maybe as a crow's flies 3 miles, 2 to 3 miles away. But I mean, it wasn't like, that wasn't super deep. A lot of the other stuff though that I've talked about happening over the years, that would have been, it was the walk to get to it.
All right, so right here, these rocks right here, about that.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna grab this.
Speaking of, did I turn this thing on?
Clearly did connectivity.
Yeah, I actually set them there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I've got